I'm going to train on purchase order management in this video. Okay, so hopefully you watched the two previous videos on requisitions, RFQs, and line item approvals. Now I want to point out each of those functions can be designated to a separate permission, and by doing so you can have separate people managing each of those components of the purchasing process. That provides a very secure system. And you can also have a different person that can come in here and receive the items, okay, which is something we're going to talk about now. Additionally, if you'd like, and is commonly done in quite a few organizations, is you'll give several of those roles, or at least a couple of those roles, to one person. In some cases, you may give all of them to one person, where perhaps you're not using purchase requisitions, you're just directly cutting POs when parts are needed. And that's perfectly fine. You can do that very easily in the program. And actually, that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go in here and just create a PO from scratch. I'll click New. And I did get in here from this blue currency symbol. I'm on this first tab. Okay. I click New. I'm going to pick a vendor. I'm going to pick the payment type. And the program auto-incremented for me. Now I can change some things about the shipping info, the billing info if I want. There's some defaults I can use on this. And I'll click Save. Okay, so I have this empty PO. There's no parts associated with it. It's just an empty shell of a PO. So now what we need to do is add the line items to it. So I'll go to the next tab. I'll click New. And notice it saved the one I'm working on here. I'll pick the item type. And I'll pick something to put on there. Maybe some of these rubber balls. And we might need, I don't know, 10 of those. And I'll click Save. And I'll continue to add more items. Maybe a V-belt or two. Now, if I wanted to receive this right now, I could just by checking this and then saving it. We receive it and it would go straight into inventory. Okay, so I have a couple items on here. Let me just go ahead and add one more. I'll put one of these tank liners on there. Okay, so I have three items. If I want to print this PO, I can just select it, right click, and go Print PO. That brings it up in Print Preview. I can go ahead and email this out or fax it or what have you. Okay, so at this point what I want to do is I'm going to remove an item. So to remove an item, if I want to remove just, say, one of these, not all three of them, I could come in and just decrement it and save it. Now I have two on the PO. If I want to get rid of the entire item, I can just simply delete it. Okay, so it's off the PO. Alright, so let's go ahead and receive something. So we have these rubber balls, and first of all, let's go to our raw inventory screen. And let's just see how many of those rubber balls are actually in stock at the moment. There they are. There's actually 400 in stock at the moment. Okay, so let's go back to our PO screen. And I'm going to receive 4 of these. And we'll just say we received 4 and we have 6 on back order. So I'll check receive part of selected item. I click Save. Program prompts me to receive 4 of 10. Yes. Okay, so we've received 4. We have 6 on back order. So at this point we should have 404, which we do. So as you can see, as you acquire parts through receiving, it increments the raw inventory as you'd expect. Okay, so we can go ahead and receive the rest of these if we want. let's do this. Let's go ahead and receive the V-belt. So I'll receive that. Okay, once it's received, it's in inventory. It can then be used from the parts usage screen. In MainSmart, nothing ever goes into a black hole though. So if someone actually used one of these V-belts, got out there and realized, you know, this is the wrong size, they can unuse it. It'll go back in inventory, okay, up here. And then we could actually come back to our PO and return it to the vendor. We can unreceive it, select it, and uncheck received. Click Save. It says this item has already been received. Do you want to reverse this? Yes. Okay, so now it's unreceived, and it took it out of stock. At that point, we could delete it if we don't need it. Okay, and if we receive the last item, and the program says all those items on that PO are received, you want to close it? Yes, and you can close it. Now, again, nothing ever goes to a black hole. For example, right here we're looking at PO 12 that we're just working on. It says closed. We can always select it and reopen it. Okay. So you'll always have that capability. Okay, let's look at a couple of purchasing options and shortcuts. Purchasing options, we can turn on alerts, and these were alerts you may have noticed on the item list tab right here. If we were over or under, notice it's saying here order 4, there's 0 available. That's an alert. Purchasing defaults, there's quite a few default settings you can set, and what will happen is these will automatically populate the PO screen. Okay, shipping defaults, kind of the same thing. Transaction item list, okay, that's that second tab, tab number 2, and there's quite a few different defaults here. Most of them I think are fairly self-explanatory. Okay, there's a few reports as well, and for example, we have stock location list reports. Okay, I had selected PO number 1 there, transaction number 1, PO number 1 also, and we can go ahead, if we whatever we select, we can go up to the file, print menu item, and pick up a stock location form. And this will basically just take everything that was received on that PO and give you the stock location, so you can easily put it in stock. And there's a couple of other reports like that. Receivable note. Okay, this is something that you can use to verify with whoever's delivering the items that the items were in fact delivered, and hopefully they'll sign off on that. So it's just another little form you can use. So that is the purchasing process in MainSmart.